Welcome to the December 17th, 2018 edition of the BitcoinNews.com Daily Podcast, where we cover the biggest stories in Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency every single day until the end of time. This is your host, Space Marine, jumping into the market analysis, and much wow, such excite, Bitcoin has gone up. If you zoom in extremely closely, it looks like a major rally. It's gone from less than $3,200 to like as high as $3,600 on Bitstamp in less than one day. So when you zoom in, it looks like the big rally we've been waiting for. And it's just below $3,500 right now, like practically $3,500, $3,495 on Bitstamp. Bitfinex continues to be way out there at $36.23. It's always going to be a higher price for now on because they have higher withdrawal fees for fiat and higher deposit fees. When you zoom out, it looks like nothing. So when you zoom out to the 2-hour chart, it still looks like a decent bump. 12-hour chart, it looks like nothing. 1-day chart, still looks like nothing. 3-day chart, you can't even really notice it. Some people might be going like crazy right now and being like, wow, this is the big rally we've been waiting for. And you know, it is a nice break from the market being a total disaster and a nuclear bloodbath firestorm. And so right now, I would say this is a stabilized market, as it has been. Zooming back in on the 2-hour chart on bitcoinwisdom.com for Bitstamp. Actually, I'll do 4-hour. So from December 7th through like December 17th, 10 days, Bitcoin has been kind of stable. It's been volatile, but when you zoom out and look at that from December 7th to December 17th, it hasn't lost any value since like December 7th. So since December 7th, Bitcoin hasn't lost value technically. I mean, it's been down to 3120 on Bitstamp, but like if you draw a straight line from December 7th to December 17th, it's the same price. That's, I guess, what I'm saying. And overall, this is still the 1-year anniversary. We talked about it on the show I recorded like early this morning, like practically 12 hours ago, how this is the anniversary of the 1 year. It's the 1-year anniversary of the all-time high for Bitcoin. It was $20,000. On Bitstamp, it looks like it was $19,666. I know on Bitfinex or something, and Coinbase it hit like $20,000. On the Bitcoin futures, when they launched, it was $20,650. So the highest prices for Bitcoin were between $20,000 and $21,000. Since the launch of the Bitcoin futures, which I'm not going to go into in much detail again because that was the last show, the Bitcoin futures, according to the Federal Reserve and also obvious market analysis, caused the Bitcoin market to crash because they're printing lots of paper Bitcoins and they have massive short selling pressure. So, yeah, we've declined from like 20,000 to like 3,500 long term. But if you zoom in, guys. Hodlers, zoom into the 15-minute chart. It's a major rally today. Alright, into the rest of the market analysis. The total cryptocurrency market cap, I saw it when it rose as high as maybe like 115, 114 billion. Right now it's back towards 113 billion. Like I said, Bitcoin was as high as 3,600 today, but now it's down to 3,500. And oh yeah, I should talk about why is it rallying today? Well, maybe it's just like people in the mainstream media are saying, oh, Bitcoin is at the 1-year anniversary of the all-time high. And like some of the people that weren't really following Bitcoin might have saw how much it dropped and they probably bought some. That's possible, but maybe that's not why it went up. It could be for any numerous random reasons. The total increase was 10%, so there's probably something more to it than random reasons, but I don't see anything particular. The only thing I thought of was maybe the Bitcoin futures, one of them, like there's CBOE and CME, maybe one of them had an expiration around this date. And when the Bitcoin futures expired, theoretically, the paper Bitcoins on the Bitcoin futures are like put out of existence all at once. And then they start winding up for the next month. So when paper Bitcoins are like deleted because they're settled out, perhaps that causes the market to rise. And if that's the case, the market will come crashing down. And as we've seen, as of like 3 p.m. was like the peak. And this is United States time. Right now it's 5 p.m. Eastern United States time. So it's gone down since the peak at 3 p.m. Now it's 5 p.m. I mean, that's not that big of a deal. It could just steady out and go up again. I don't know where it's going to go today. It's up though. So the market analysis for today shows a nice uptrend across all the cryptos. And some of the altcoins have went up way more than Bitcoin. So let's go through the market analysis. As of this moment, Bitcoin's up 8% in the 24-hour period. Ripple lows up 11%. I don't like Ripple that much because I think it's very centralized and not really a cryptocurrency, but I'm not going to keep going into too much detail on that on every show. So it's at 32 cents now. Every time Ripple XRP gains 1 cent, Ripple Labs profits $590 million. Well, technically, Ripple Labs only gets to dump like 1 billion XRP per month, which is a lot, but they don't get to dump it all at once, so it's not like instantly realized profits and the market will change. But yeah, Ripple Labs controls most of the supply of XRP, and they gain $590 million every time XRP goes up 1 penny on the market. Right now it's 32 cents. Ethereum is doing good today, and that's good news for Ethereum because everything's looking pretty black for Ethereum right now. It's like, or bleak, dark, whatever you want to call it. Ethereum was as low as like $80, and they have this fork coming up in a month, and they might add features for Ethereum on the same futures exchange in Chicago that destroyed the Bitcoin market. So there's like really bad things happening to Ethereum, and Ethereum's price already lost a lot before that due to SEC enforcement, and SEC enforcement will be massively increasing. Now that they have their case model lawsuits against like Paragon and Aerofox, they might just go ahead and sue everyone in 2019. I mean, that's speculation, but it's quite possible, and people kind of expect it. They call it the ICO apocalypse. So Ethereum's having a bad time because most of the ICOs were launched on Ethereum, and then we have like a fork coming and all that stuff too, and they're already down. But they're up to $95 today, almost a $10 billion market cap. Just to show how bad they slid. Like, they're up over 10% today, and they're still below a $10 billion market cap. And by the way, just a note, before I head into the rest of this market analysis, I think it's quite not good how all the cryptocurrencies follow Bitcoin. So Bitcoin goes up and every other crypto follows it. Bitcoin goes down, like every other crypto follows it. There's some rare exceptions. Like, I remember Dogecoin rallied all by itself a few months ago. Stuff like that. But it seems like there's a hive mind here. And maybe it's just because these cryptocurrencies are denominated in Satoshis. Like, when you're actually trading on an exchange, some cryptos have fiat exchanging, like Ethereum and, like, I guess maybe Ripple. I don't know. So, like, the major cryptocurrencies like Litecoin and Ethereum and Bitcoin have fiat exchanges and they have fiat activity, giving them some independence. But at the same time, most of the cryptocurrencies have their biggest market in Bitcoin trading pairs, which means they're denominated in Satoshis. So it's almost like when Bitcoin rallies, like nothing really changes for these alternative cryptocurrencies besides the fact that Bitcoin got more valuable. And they rally, just like Bitcoin does. So it's kind of like all these cryptocurrencies, there's 2,100 of them on CoinMarketCap, but they're all like extremely dependent on Bitcoin as far as market activity goes. And so they're not really independent currencies, in my view, because they're so dependent on Bitcoin's movements. Like, how could they possibly... Like, they're called individual cryptocurrencies, but when you look at it and back up and look at the way they follow together, like, they go up together and they go down together. Like, I'm looking at the market cap, CoinMarketCap listing. Yeah, like, some of them have different percentages that they went up because of different investment speculators and stuff, but they're following each other. So how could they be called independent currencies? It's almost like cryptocurrency is definitely independent when you collectively look at it, but it's all just like a hive mind and put together, and it's not really independent of each other. Like, there's 2,100 cryptocurrencies, and they're mostly not independent of each other at all. Like, in the stock market, if Apple goes up a lot, it doesn't mean like Exxon is going to go up a lot. But in the cryptocurrency market, you know, you got Bitcoin going up a lot, so therefore Ethereum will go up a lot. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Stocks are totally different. Like, they're actually independent entities, each stock. And perhaps each commodity, but for each unique commodity. But cryptocurrencies, they're not unique from each other when the market... And characteristics, they're unique technologically sometimes not. But even the unique ones, like Ethereum is definitely a lot different than Bitcoin, but it totally follows the Bitcoin market. And I think that's something that, you know, the cryptocurrency space has to totally mature for us to see that to stop. Like, we have to see a real maturation, I guess, is that what they call it, in the crypto space, for these cryptocurrencies to become independent assets. Right now, I would say they're dependent assets. They're dependent on Bitcoin. All right, so we're going to keep going down this list. EOS had a major rally today. It's up 24%. Wow, so EOS has a little independence today, but it's still in the same trend, but it went up like double the amount that Bitcoin went up. Actually, almost triple. It's up triple. Bitcoin's up 8%, EOS is up 24%. So EOS is over a $2 billion market cap again. It's almost $2.2 billion, $2.38. EOS has been absolutely shedding market cap like insanely since it went onto its public blockchain. But today is an exception, a big exception. That's a major rally. And sometimes in the crypto space, we have something called a pump, and it's usually followed by a dump. So investors get excited because the price is going up, and then more investors jump in and try to catch the wave, and then more investors jump in, and it kind of just builds on each other in a positive feedback loop of speculation. And I think something like that's happening for EOS today because nothing changed for the EOS market today. That's for sure. So nothing fundamental changed, but they're rallying more than anyone. So that's a good sign that, it's just a pump and dump. And if it's a pump and dump, like I think it is, that means it will dump. When the market starts going down a little or stabilizes, we'll see US go down a lot. Maybe. I'm not trying to give any investment advice. I don't even invest myself. All right. Down to Stellar. Stellar's up 12%. It's up almost the same as Ripple, and Stellar is about the same as Ripple. Basically, Jed McCaleb founded Ripple. He's one of the primary co-founders. And then he got kind of kicked out, and then he made Stellar. And it's quite similar to Ripple, and it's going up exactly the same today. All right, then we have Tether. Tether, the number 6 cryptocurrency. It's a stable coin. And for some reason, Tether's price rose above parity. I could guess it's because people are trying to buy all the cryptocurrencies as fast as they can today. So Tether is really not stable. It's called a stable coin. It's the number 1 stable coin. Market cap over $1.8 billion, which means over 1.8 billion Tether are in circulation. But on up days like this, when demand is high, it can't maintain parity. It goes above parity to $1.01, and then often it goes below parity too. On down days, like when the market really crashes, we often see the stable coins drop below $1. What are the other stable coins doing? True USD is at $1.02. USD Coin, which is made by Circle and Coinbase, is at $1.01. Paxos Standard at $1.01. So none of these stable coins are stable. They're all volatile and not really maintaining parity. They're close to parity within 1% or 2 when they're working. Tether was totally not working in October and November. But Tether and all these other stable coins, they're not maintaining exact parity, and every cent off of parity is actually a bad thing. It's bad for the market. It's bad. There's supposed to be a mechanism that's exactly at $1, but they're not. Litecoin's up nicely today. It's at almost at $30 per Litecoin, $1.8 billion market cap. I'm glad to see Litecoin rallying. I know Litecoin's going to be around long term. It's a really honest, decentralized coin, and it's good for script miners. And then we have the Bitcoin Cashes. They went up today. Bitcoin Cash is at $90, and Bitcoin SV, which is Bitcoin Cash SV, pretty much is at $81. So the separation between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV grew a little bit, but they're still both pretty low. If you combine them, it's $170. Before the fork happened, Bitcoin Cash was over $600. So they kind of decimated themselves with that fork. It doesn't mean they're going to die forever, but I don't think their prospects have been looking very good. Monero has had a nice rally today. It really needed it. Manero is at $44, $730 million market cap. The number 1 privacy coin, good for deep web and anonymous people that really don't want to have any transaction information to the public. Because Bitcoin transactions are all on the public blockchain. Monero is totally stealth. The number 2 privacy coin, Zcash, where you have the option between having Bitcoin style transparency versus Monero style stealth. You could have either one on Zcash. There's transparent addresses and stealth addresses with Zcash. And they're up 10% today as well. And they're actually on Coinbase. So their trading volume is totally blowing Monero away. So Zcash is the number 2 privacy coin. But because they have transparency options, they're compliant, and Coinbase added it. So it has $130 million volume, while Monero's only $13 million. So there's 10 times more volume for Zcash. Heading down to Dash. Dash is in between Monero and Bitcoin. It's more anonymous than Bitcoin because it uses masternode technology. Masternodes mix the coins. It's kind of a coin mixing laundering service built into it. And Dash is getting very popular in Venezuela, and I think it's going to be a major crypto coming up in 2019. And it still is. It's number 15 at 600 million, but it might even gain some ranks because we have an entire country that's trying to adopt it right now. I think they're using Bitcoin too, but Dash is more preferred because the government can't view people's assets as easily. And Manero is probably being used there too in Venezuela. And Bitcoin. But the more anonymous something is, the better it is for Venezuela because they're probably having a government collapse sort of situation or something. They're definitely having a currency collapse. I'm not speculating. They're definitely going to have a currency collapse in 2019, and their currency will be non-existent. So that might lead to a government collapse too, because the government absolutely depends on printing currency to fund their massively overinflated budget. In fact, I'm trying to look at the Cafe Con Leche index right now, and I'm going to load this up and see how much the inflation rate is in Venezuela right now, because it's changing every week. Every week, someone goes to the same coffee shop in Venezuela, buys the same cup of coffee, and that's the only way to gauge inflation because it's such a mess there. They couldn't have a CPI. In the United States, they try to average in gas, milk, services, goods, everything into one basket for CPI. And in Venezuela, it would be so confusing because the hyperinflation has made the economy just absolutely hard to analyze. But if you use the Cafe Con Leche index, everything becomes obvious. All right, so in the beginning of July, it was 10 bolivars for a cup of coffee, and now it's 400. Okay, that speaks itself. Their inflation rate's approaching 1,000,000% per year annually. As for the rest of the market analysis, I stop at Dogecoin pretty much always because there's all these ICO coins, and I don't think the ICO coins are going to be that big of a deal long term because these ICO coins, whether you like it or not, ICO cryptocurrencies are like centralized and they're trying to make profits. The companies want to make profits. I'm not against them for that, but they're, as far as being a real currency that'll be a major currency in the world, like I don't see how it would be. It's pretty much like kind of like a share of their stock or like equity or something. That's how their tokens work, and that's why the SEC is cracking down. So Dogecoin's the last one I'm going to mention. It's a real decentralized, honest cryptocurrency. It's up a lot today. Goodness. Like, one of the only currencies I have is actually Dogecoin. I have $5 of Dogecoin. I think it just became like $7 because it's up 28% today. And it's at $319 million market cap, up 28% today. Wow. So Dogecoin actually is the top rallying cryptocurrency for today. And that's a great thing to see. I love Dogecoin. Alright, so basically, I just wanted to do this show right now to catch the market at a happy point. Maybe it'll keep going up. But it's nice to see it actually, that the market is actually rallying today. This is a really up day. This kind of brings back memories of 2017 when the market was doing this like every day. So this is kind of like a taste of 2017, and I think it's kind of appropriate. So instead of being like a dismal day where everyone's like, oh, 1 year ago we were at the highest price and now it's crashing. It's like, oh, we have new hope. It could go up again. It could go all the way up to that and we might make all those profits again. So, yeah, good day on the market. I hope it holds up. I hope it's not temporary because the crypto space needs it. Even though I'm not invested in the cryptocurrency, the companies in the crypto space are totally getting like wrecked. And it's not good. Like, a lot of companies that should have got wrecked. A lot of, like, not really legitimate companies got wrecked. But now legitimate companies are losing all their money and stuff because the market went down so much. It would be good for the market to stabilize and go up a little so the really legitimate companies can stay alive. Because it wouldn't be good if all the companies go out of business. That would look bad forever. That'd be like in the history books. It's really bad. So, that's all we have for you today on this December 17th, 2018 edition of the BitcoinNews.com Daily Podcast. We're going all the way to the moon, maybe. This is your host, Space Marine, signing out. Go to BitcoinNews.com 24/7 for the full spectrum on Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency analysis.